So this shelf that I found in my unit, well, it was kind of tucked away in a shed, very neglected, very cobwebby, very dirty. I figured nobody wanted it anymore and it was going to be thrown out. So I decided I'd keep it, clean it up. This took me about 20 minutes, to be honest, to get rid of all the cobwebs and the dust and the sand. And then I kind of get distracted in a second here and my neighbour starts to talk to me.
Good, how are you? You look lovely, where are you going? Lovely.
The lady next door started talking to me. I've never met her before, so she was introducing herself. However, she started to whisper quite early into the conversation because she mentioned she felt extremely guilty about going out to get a takeaway coffee. She also felt the need to justify and let me know that she wasn't sick or didn't have coronavirus. She just felt bad because she didn't know whether or not she was allowed to. However, she also mentioned that she lives alone and that this outing would be her only outing and it was an opportunity to sort of at least talk with other people. I reassured her and told her not to feel guilty. I said it was really good that she was supporting local business. And I think it's necessary in times like these that we reach out and we be a bit human for at least 5 seconds, because there are people living alone and they should never have to feel neglected or totally alone. Now, I'm not trying to say you should go hug your neighbours, but I'm trying to say, you know, what's the harm in checking in, saying hello, introducing yourself, letting them know that they're not totally alone. Anyway, distractions aside, I get back into brushing this old thing. I'm gonna cut to the next part because there's only so much video one can watch of someone brushing an old wooden cupboard thingy, a bob. So I decided to use this white spray paint that I had laying around for the metal parts of this shelf. I also just sprayed some of the drill holes or any areas I thought might be hard to reach with paint and a paintbrush, and it worked out really well because I think these tiny areas can be really tedious and annoying. So you will notice my clothes changed because this is the next day. I decided to pause my work so that I could go for a surf. It was worth it, not gonna lie, but now we're getting straight back into it with some house paint I had lying around very conveniently. The perfect amount, perfect size tin. So it's quite humid at the moment still in Old Broomtown, and there was a few flies about today. They were really close to my face, quite sticky flies, so that is why you will see me getting quite frustrated and annoyed with them as I paint this entire shelf. Regardless, the show must go on, and I was on a mission to get this shelf complete. I think it's time to throw in a time lapse now, so let's speed this painting up a little bit. Now, while I was out here waiting for my shelf to dry, I decided to replant my fiddle fig leaf. It is extremely unhealthy, so I've done research and it possibly has some kind of like fungal disease, hence why it's not really growing anymore. And it's currently in a pot that doesn't drain water, and according to the internet, fiddle fig leaves don't like that. Well, most indoor plants don't like that. They like to be able to drain the water. And the thing is, I'm not so good with how much to water them, how often I have to do it. So I think it's important that I put it in a pot in which it can drain. A lovely little tip is that although you can keep it in an ugly drainage pot, you can also place that pot inside something pretty and then take it out every time you need to drain the water. And I thought, that's a great idea and very good for someone like me who isn't going to put a lot of love and attention into our plants. However, with that said, now that we're in isolation, I have given my indoor plants a lot more love, attention, and I've been reading a lot more about how to look after them. And I'm kind of proud of myself. So this is my attempt at revamping my art corner. This corner is kind of a bit busy at the moment, a bit not as organized as I'd like it. I live in an old unit, so essentially it's not the best looking unit, but it does the job. And I'm currently, well, I don't know about it anymore, but I have a goal to buy a house at the end of this year. However, the hard thing is I have to rent in the meantime, and I don't want to spend a lot of money on decorating a house that isn't mine and just buying a heap of things that I'll probably have to either move or sell in the long run, and I think it'll be a waste of money. So I found this, it was really old and dusty and it's really beat up, but I figured I'm going to paint this, make it into a shelf, and then have it for my art corner. So we're going to see how it looks. So what I'm doing is getting rid of my old shelves, and I'll probably use them for something else. I might put some nice pot plants in them, I'm not quite sure yet. And I'm going to move my new shelf here and start kind of decluttering, organizing my art stuff so it's not as chaotic to look at, because I think the important thing about a house is that even if it's not your own and you have to live in it, especially when you're in isolation, I think it's really important for your mental health that you have a space that you enjoy looking at and that you enjoy being in and coming home to and spending isolation in for hours and hours and days and months and months. So, hence why I'm trying my best to decorate my house, but in the most affordable way, and a way that's also recycling, because I think that's something that I really want to utilize, is that I don't need to buy a heap of new things. I can get secondhand, or I can upcycle, and I kind of feel a lot better about myself doing that than contributing to the amount of waste that goes into our earth daily, every second. So I don't know, I feel good about it. I don't need to buy a lot of things to be happy. And that is it, my friends. This is my little ISO project complete, with my additional indoor plants added to the mix to add some colour and some liveliness. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know if you enjoyed this one. It's a little bit different to what I usually do. Oh, quickly, that's the little hook I found, which I could stick in a little hole that was in there and hang my colourful palette just to bring a bit more vibrancy. Oh, and there is a drawing I did of Ruby. So I will see you later, guys. Thanks for coming.